Hello everyone, Big G here, and welcome back to episode 7, where we see if these 5 intrepid survivors can get by through their own insanity and escape into space. At the moment, not looking so likely. So winter's just begun, well, is about to begin, and it's getting cold, so we can't grow our crops, and we've got 2 prisoners to feed, but it's all alright because we're starting to research a cult. So one way or another, we're going to be okay. Or at least, more importantly, our people think they're going to be okay. Um, they're actually not going to be at all. So I've got my colonists and beds built now, um, which will be good. They've actually done a pretty good job of building these. I'd be pretty happy with some normal people. Not that my colonists aren't normal people, they're just all insane cultists, or going to be shortly. Um, I noticed that Eckhart has now recovered from install immunity to the infection that she did have, and she will be up shortly. Oh my god, we've got a raid. Slaves. Slaves are attacking immediately. Uh, and we have someone's brother, slave fighter Stefan. Do who? Whitman? Slaves? I don't understand this at all. We haven't got someone called Stephen or Stefan or anyone called Whitman. Oh well, we'll kill them nonetheless. That's always going to happen. Now, from my experience, slaves are quite dangerous. Yes, there's quite a few of them. So the way it usually works is usually get an overseer, like York here, looks by the looks of it, who gets some actual D gear. Everyone else is desperate, just equipped with suicide bombs or just no weapons at all, really. But they generally spawn in quite high numbers, and they are dangerous. So men to the defences, basically. That's the role. That's what we're going to do here. Uh, the 3 that can fight, we will send out straight away. I don't know if they're attacking immediately or not. I think someone might have a relationship with one of our people. I'm just going to check through quickly. I don't think I have anyone under that name. I really don't think I do. Estes. Oh my god. Run this way and get in. Cool, she's slow. All the slaves are very fast. What's happening here? Take him out. Oh, that was really close. Oh, I'm so pleased that those traders died, by the way. That scatter shot is a ridiculously overpowered weapon. It's a shotgun, which is accurate at range. Well, we did them in. Chase them down. I want them dead. I want their souls. We're not going to catch him. He's out of here. Can Estes hunt down York? I don't think so. Oh, a few more shots maybe. But anyway, so that raid was of no threat at all. I was up talking how dangerous slaves are, and to be honest, from my previous games they were quite dangerous. But we just seem to have very powerful weapons for this point of the game. I think because that trader died, if you think of it like we only have the pistol, for example, and the Mosin, that would have been an awful lot more challenging, and they probably would have broken through the wall, and we would have had to retreat back here and fight them inside and stuff. But I think the scattershot and the carbine really give us an edge over these early game opponents, particularly when they're not wearing any armor like the slave. So we've researched the altar. So basically we've learned how to build a table, which I think is quite important. I'm quickly just setting my alarm on my phone because I've once again forgotten to do it. So just bear with me a moment. Very sorry about this. I am a professional creator of content. That's alright, we live in the open world, right? Everyone can make videos, anyone can do anything. They let me do it, so obviously that is the case. So we've got our altar. Now, I think if I'm right, you need a shrine, basically. So I'll make this our shrine for now, where you can then research further stuff at the altar that relates to the cult. We've got another 3 days until I trigger a raid, and I think bearing in mind how easy that last raid is, I think I'll try and make it a bit more challenging for us. Maybe I will trigger a higher difficulty raid. I don't know who, but I'll just do one which is more difficult. Now I'm going to copy the settings from this stockpile because I've noticed it's getting full. And obviously we do want, I can copy the settings, right? Yeah. So I want to be able to keep stuff under the roof. without it deteriorating. And yeah, but we're doing okay actually. I think from considering our position a few episodes ago, I've definitely played games where I've been in a lot worse situation than this and gone on to do quite well. So all things considered, we should be all right. I'll deconstruct all of these stupid sleeping spots so they can actually go and use the beds. Um, I'll build them a proper dorm at some point, but for now they can just sleep in the room opposite the Devil Book, or that I'm sure that doesn't give them any sleepless thoughts at night. But oh well, they're all going to be insane anyway at some point, so what does it matter? Mm. Got myself a cup of tea, as opposed to the normal English breakfast tea, which is the only proper tea I still maintain. I'm drinking ginger tea today, because I've run out of milk, and that is a disaster as far as I'm concerned. It's quite nice though, it's got a bit of a tang to it, bit different, but oh my god, is it not as good as tea, as actual tea. Oh, Eckhart's up. Now, I want to see, she does move quite slowly, as you can see. It's not exactly blistering, um, but she can hold a gun, so we're going to get her to do that. I wonder if the AEK is better than the pistol. It's a 40 range, 9 damage, 3 burst. It's not very accurate. The pistol, of course, is a single shot. It's 11 damage. It does slightly more, and it's accurate at close range, but not at long range at all. What was the stat for this on medium? 52. So they're basically the same, except for the pistol is more accurate closer in. So I think I'd rather we use the pistol, simply because I think that hitting people in this game is more important than anything else. Particularly if you hit them in the legs, then they don't move. I figured that out, guys. It's amazing, isn't it? It's incredible I ever graduated from uni with that kind of insight. Yeah, so if you shoot them in the legs, they slow down and they can't come and harm you. Now, these suicide bombs, I don't really want to keep them. Because I don't... Well, actually, maybe I do. If we ever get an absolutely rubbish colonist at some point, I could actually make them a suicide bomber, which could be worth considering. I'm going to get Estes to wear a toque, only because he hasn't got anything on the head at the moment, and it will keep him slightly warmer, plus give him a bit of protection from, well, nothing, I take it. But he's going to wear one nonetheless. We've got loads of ship chunks about. I think what I'm going to try and do is if we can get the altar set up in this episode, and also maybe if we can get some turrets set up as well, I think that'd be really good. So I'm just going to run a cable around the perimeter of our wall. Then of course we will be able to hook up some turrets to it. I'm not going to put them in the wall itself, because if the wall ever falls by grenade, for example, then I don't want to lose the connection. I mean, I could build some extra redundancy into my lines, but to be honest, words like redundancy, I don't really have much time for. So, yeah, so, but I have actually been made redundant. That's a story to tell. Yeah, my very first job with the post office, I got made redundant, which is ironic really, because I hadn't been there for very long at all. Fantastic, I loved it. Thank you. It was genius. I didn't want to stay in that job anyway. Yeah, so we'll get some gun turret stuff up, just a bit of perimeter defense, so when we can add to the already overpowered firepower that we've got from the scatter shot and our other 3 shooters. But a colony of 5, I think we're doing alright. I still miss Big G. I don't know how self-professing it is to put yourself in these games. I don't know whether it's ever actually PC or not. I wanted to be in it, but then I was like, well, should I be in it? I think secretly that came across, because it's actually the only reason why I let myself die in the first episode. I was like, oh no, it would take away from the artistic credibility if I'm in it. It's full. This is all for the subscribers. The subscribers, as if I have any. Haha, very good. I think I've got about. Well, I suppose if all my old ones carry on, then I had about 100. But you know, they're not going to want to talk to me ever again. ever since I abandoned them, it's nothing but love there. So, there's quite a lot of slag about, and there's quite a few ship chunks. So I suppose once I get my gun turret set up, I can get started on well, let's think. I don't want them to blow up the wall when they explode, so I'll put them 2 out. Put 1 at there, or put 1 here, so that can shoot down both angles. I think putting 1 here is a bit excessive, isn't it? I do definitely want 1 on this angle. We'll put it here. Oh, I haven't got enough steel anymore, so we will have to go and deconstruct some ship chunks for those. But 3 turrets for now should provide sufficient distraction for us not to have to worry about anything particularly. I'm trying to think about trench works. Are trench works better than sandbags? No, you wouldn't imagine that would work. Oh, well, we're not going to have any power anyway now, so it's relevant. Trench works. I can't tell. I feel like trenches would be better covered than sandbags, but not for obviously something that's elevated on like a turret. So we'll try and get some sandbags built around these. That will just give them a bit of protection from any incoming gunfire, and also means when they inevitably explode that they won't kill everyone. So we've completed our research. I realise I haven't been researching anything since. Flowers and trees, that's superfluous research. None of us have any purpose for that. No, we don't want ritual attire. Ritual attire might be fun. Oh no, that's very tempting, isn't it? Oh yes, we're doing it. I wonder if one of our lucky recruits, victims, will have will partake of the slaughter. Well, I'm saying that, but I do genuinely want to recruit these 2. I can't remember anything about them. It's been, good shooter, quite good at everything. Great cook. Can't fight. So they both would serve a role. They both would serve a purpose if they were to join my colony. So we'll try and recruit them. It's a bit of if I'm sacrificing people though. I've got some suicide bombs. I don't know whether I'd rather sacrifice them or I'd turn them into suicide bombers and fling them madly at my enemies. I'm going to come up here and kill these zebras because as much as I really like zebras and I think they just look like really weird stripy horses, which they definitely are, by the way, I think we need the food, and I think they might die or leave in the winter anyway, so there's no point in them being there. But that doesn't leave us with a great deal of food elsewhere. I mean, I know we're going to be raided by humans soon, so we'll have some lovely human flesh. But yeah, it would be quite nice to have some other forms of food that I know I can rely on, and you can't really rely on that. But we have got some meals for now, I think, so we sort of are okay. Yeah, we're fine. Should be fine. So last night I was at the pub with my friends. We've got into micropubs recently, which if you don't know what a micropub is, it's basically like a really tiny pub. Sort of pretty self-explanatory, but they really focus on doing like craft beers and local ales and stuff. So rather than just going to the pub and having your normal lager as such, our people, oh no, my friends, but they are my people as well. You know, they're like owned by me. No, so we went to a pub called the Green Man, which is just down the road from me. It's really nice, really enjoyed it. Well, I think it's got quite a big of scene for micropubs now. So we've got 3, and there's a 4th and opening at the end of my road. And the reason I really like them is because not only is the beer they do really good, but they don't play music or anything, so you can actually talk to people, which is why I go to pubs. So I do get frustrated when I have to go to a mainstream pub and they're so loud that you cannot hear a single what anyone says. It's partly due to the size and partly because they play music in the background, and I just think that that's not the right attitude for a pub. I'm an old man, you know. I need my solitude. That carbine is very overpowered. I'm not sure if I want to be Eckhart to be hunting anymore. She's very slow to be hunting. Now I'm going to take it off, because although she's an okay shot, she is also equipped with a pistol, so if she gets attacked out here, she's not going to have much to fend off, and she's very slow, so her time could be better spent in the colony. She's basically got one of the only pieces of wood that we have in her leg, so I think that's quite funny. what else can we do at this point? We can build a fueled smithy, but we don't have anything to fuel it with. We can't build any fishing piers because there is literally no water at all. The oven is irrelevant because we can't bake anything. The electric stove, yes, that's what I want. I actually do want that. Obviously, whilst the eclipse is going on, as all our power is solar, we aren't getting any, so we will soon, at some point, run out of electricity, depending on how long it goes on. I think I'm playing with a realistic darkness mod on, by the way, so that's why it might appear darker than it does normally, because it makes it darker. That's the general gist of that. Oh, well, that was very eloquent, wasn't it? Fantastic. Yes. So we'll get the electric stove in. Where is it? No, not the fuel stove. I've lost it. There it is. There it is. Anyway, so today I have officially uploaded the first 2 videos to my channel. All of these I'm conscious of getting out enough videos over the week because I want to be able to have enough to cover me until next weekend. So I'm recording these on the Sunday. I recorded my first 2, or every episode up until now on the Saturday, but I've only uploaded the first 2 today. It's a bit confusing, but basically, if you have commented on the first episode, that will obviously those comments won't be read until now. So sorry about that. I have a feeling we're always going to be quite far behind on that because I'm going to try and record. Well, I suppose I'm going to try and record to cover the weeks because whilst I can record in the evenings in the week, I also know I can't quite often as well because I'm busy or because I've been at work and I'm just not in the mood. So something like that. Basically, I know I can record at weekends. I'm not so sure about in the week, but I might be able to. But anyway, if you do comment on my video, I will definitely respond to you. That's the Big G ethos. I will say hello, I will go hello, 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 and until the point that I have inevitably 38 billion subscribers, say like 3 weeks from now, uh, then I will always reply. That will be my I don't know, my ethos. Right, okay, so I've just noticed they're freezing to death, so I'm going to try and get them some heat. I'm going to reinstall this heater over here where they're sleeping currently. I don't care about the work speed being lost at the moment. It's not important. What we need is a cult. Where is the cult stuff? I can't remember. There's an altar of sacrifice. I'm just clicking at the moment. That's all I'm doing. Cult altar. It has to be wood. Can't it be... Oh, yes. We'll make it out of slate. So, if I put it... Oh, it's a bit awkward, really. I might have to dig a bit further back. Well, we're getting some... we've got a lot of stone blocks, actually. Soon I'll make this wall double thickness to actually, well, provide some proper protection. At the moment, I don't really feel like it's necessary. So that's alright. We also have we got our first harvest of wood. So we've got 118 wood to cover us over, which is good. I really feel like we're running out of steel, like ridiculously fast. I just cannot see there being enough steel on this map, even with the slag and the steel that I've just unforbid over here. We're just going to run out before I can actually mine it. That's the problem. But things are getting done. 5 colonists is quite a good number. I think if you're playing in a normal series, sort of 5 to 6 to 7 colonists is about the normal number, I'd say. So, I mean, obviously, because I'm not playing with moods, there's less to worry about, so you expand much faster. Yes, so we've unlocked the Altar of Sacrifice, which is fantastic. And now we're going to research actual human sacrifice. So I can sacrifice humans to get impressive benefits from cosmic entities. Oh, that sounds tempting, doesn't it? It'll be good if we can get that going. Depending on the level of the threats that are coming at us, I don't know which god I'm going to... Actually, that might be quite good. Anyone who knows anything about the Cult of Cthulhu mod, can let me know which god that you want me to worship. I will maybe leave... Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll leave a description or a list of the gods that you can worship below. And then you can tell me which one. Cthulhu, I know for certain, is one of them. And there are a few others as well. They do different things, but I won't tell you what they do because that's not fun. I think I want you to decide for yourself rather than on the basis of what benefits they give me. I want you to tell, oh, Riesling's sanity is slipping. I've just noticed that. That's only initial. I remember that Giles was majorly insane before I was unfortunately struck down in his prime. Uh, as in struck down by his prime by a guy that he was so thick. I couldn't believe it. I mean, there's being a cultist and there's doing it blatantly in someone in front. It's literally like me going to a UKIP rally. It's what it would be like. Right. So we've now researched human sacrifice. So I think we probably will have to remember to research something actually important now. Um, Study successful cults would be good because what that does is it tells you about their. The cults will actually benefit you in better ways from believing in these gods. At the moment, though, I don't think it's important for us. I might go for simple prosthetics is handy because people like Eckhart might actually get a leg back, but I just don't think I'll have the components for it, to be honest. Maybe machining, so we can then build proper weapons and disassemble stuff. Or refining. No, refining is I always forget is not what I think it is. It's electric smelting. Yes, we'll do that. Smelting is quite important. We'll probably will need it in this playthrough with our lack of steel. I think that allows us to disassemble some of the weapons that we aren't using or don't want to use. So that would be good to get. Now, where is this cult gone? So we're going to go for an altar, slate cult altar. If I put it here, yeah, here. Oh, it's not central. You see, I thought it would be. I don't like the fact it's not central, but I'm going to put it there, and then I am going to make it central by doing this. And then, of course, it's symmetrical. Oh, look at that. We worrying about symmetry. You can tell that we're not up against it. It's time for a raid, I reckon. In approximately 2 hours, it exactly is time for a raid. And I'll make it a bigger one because I think the raids that we've had so far haven't been very challenging. Even though I have screwed up quite significantly on the ones that we have had. It would be nice to get this turret finished before. And it really annoys me actually that someone just hasn't finished it because it's got all the resources if you look in the corner. Which is normally the reason why stuff isn't finished in my playthroughs. So here we go, first off winter. Now winter is going to be quite difficult because of the temperature and stuff. But it's also going to be quite difficult because of the raid that's about to come. I think there's more here. There weren't this many before, I swear. I'm not looking. I don't know what that was. Okay, big raid, 362. It hasn't worked. Oh dear, that's annoying. Well, I'll try for another one then. Outlanders, I don't know if they work. 362. Oh, something's happened. Friendlies, oh, that's annoying. I think this is not something I had thought about. I assumed that when someone raids you, they can only be hostile. But I seem to be triggering friendlies as much as I'm triggering hostiles. So they're always going to come around and brandish their weapons at me for a bit. I will go to ignore them. They're not here. I'm not going to kill them or interact with them anyway at all because I think that's really unfair. I wanted to come and be killed, basically. I do like 3 speed. 3 speed gives the impression that everything is happening really fast. I generally do play on 2 speed because I do feel that 3 speed is too fast for me. I don't know. You can let me know. What's your feedback on it? I mean, we know we get done stuff faster, but I also feel like it happens too quick for you to actually keep a track of what 5 or 6 people are doing. I suppose the response to that is I should set up my priorities better, but you know, who knows? Don't expect anything professional from me. There's quite a lot of resources in that, so it's going to take a lot of work. I wasn't aware that a slab of slate was difficult to build, but apparently it is. If anyone's ever built an altar, you can let me know. how many people have built altars? Well, I suppose you will. You'll build an altar to celebrate my magnificence. I'm sure of it. Maybe Big G Gaming will be turned into the next cult. We'll take after my colonists. No, that won't happen. But it's just quite nice. It'd be quite nice if that could happen, though. Hint. Thank you everyone. It'd be quite nice to get one of these people recruited. I don't like the fact that they're still resisting, and I'm using this term resisting because I feel like that is what they're doing. I mean, obviously, there's no genuine reason why they wouldn't want to join my fantastic colony. Eats raw meat and is going to worship some evil god. But yeah, whatever. What were their difficulties again? So it's 73 and 71. So both of them, should be quite easy to recruit. In the grand scheme of things, yeah, I don't know. It's only ones in the 90s I always notice are basically impossible. He hates the fact he's in a prison. That's fair enough. It's cramped. It is. He's eaten raw food. Well, we do have cooked food, so I don't know why. But he's luxuriantly comfortable on his slate bed. Maybe he just likes it firm, and he has extremely low expectations. Yeah, that's quite that's probably quite appropriate, I'd say. So we've got our cult going now. Ooh, I can upgrade the cult, so I can make a sacrifice. I can force worship. Let me think about what we're going to do. So, deity, we haven't discovered any yet, and we haven't got a preacher assigned because obviously we don't have a deity. But I think the idea is you study the successful cults thing, and that will unlock the gods for you to research. I quite like that idea though. You study successful cults, like someone does a working project and there's like a white paper on what cults work and what's don't. Yeah, that's definitely very weird to me. We're draining power quite quickly, so I'm going to get myself another solar panel set up in the back garden, which is going to be an excellent place for solar panels in general, I'd say. I might even go for 2 just to give myself a bit more power. Again, I'm really worried about the steel, but I am just burning it. I'm very aware I'm burning it, and I'm burning it in things like turrets as well, which get blown up. So maybe that wasn't such a bright idea, Charles. But we are actually, with the 2 solar panels hooked up, have got a positive rate. So hopefully we should store up enough in the days now to, if you can look at the bottom here on the left, to survive the night. But I'm not really sure. Pollen, I have a feeling we're not going to do anything with. It's a vital ingredient to make honey. My people aren't bees, unfortunately, so they can't do that. What's the recruit chance here, then? What's it going to be? Come on, love, you know you want to. 2.3%. Oh, no, that's no good at all. We'll try and make them slightly bigger cells, so I can get them a table and stuff like that. I will get myself a table set up as well, actually, because I think that's only fair on my poor colonists who are living in nothing but utter squalor so far. We'll go for a short table in the corner, not wood. I have literally no wood, so we'll go for sandstone. We've got some sandstone. I clicked on something. It wasn't what I meant to click on. Yeah, and then we'll go for some really heavy stools as well. Can you imagine that, having to drag like a sandstone stool about with you everywhere? I had an antique sort of ornamental stool in our back garden at one point, and it was really bloody heavy. I can tell you, it was like a chair. I think we broke it up because basically we hated it so much. You couldn't move it, and what's the point of it? Well, at least this stuff like this won't catch fire. My colony is very unflammable at the moment, which is a good thing. 5.6% chance there to recruit on Mauro. That's not bad. We're getting better. And I think we have got the numbers to repel a breakout. So provided that that's okay, we'll put the bed there. you know, have got the numbers to resist a cell break or a jailbreak or whatever they're called. So we should be all right, really. We can keep them prisoner rather indefinitely. Yeah, it's fine. Carolee's inability to do violence, I am going to get frustrated out throughout this game. But I'm also aware she's basically been building everything. Oh, I haven't triggered a raid. Oh, oh. Well, I might actually look now because I think I want to check one that I know works. So let's be raided by. We can't be raided by UKIP, but the Crystal Collective are quite interesting as a people to fight. So let's fight them. Now I do is whether it's going to spawn friendlies or enemies. There we go. Oh, here they come. Yeah, so the Crystalloids. Now, I read up about this mod before, and I thought it looked really cool. Basically, these people are like organic crystals. So they are all like psionic, and they all communicate through telepathy and things like that. So all of this gives them enhanced sight and consciousness and things that make them fight. They also have these constructs, which are equipped with quite powerful weapons, and there's another one here. So I noticed there's a guy here that just appears to be brandishing a fire extinguisher. Oh, a psycho. He's doing the Fallout thing of like, oh, he's Breaking Bad before he comes in. Right, okay. Let's get our people to the walls. I think what we'll do. Sorry, I've just realised I've just chucked them anywhere. That was bad, wasn't it? Carolee, I want you to stay inside. So I'm going to forbid this door whilst this raid is in progress. We'll get our shotgun as the highest person here, so he'll be the closest. I'll get Rising here, and then obviously because he's not more accurate at range, he can go there, and the sort of the same there. Oh, again, I never really understand the pathfinding. Why is he coming all the way down here? I suppose he might be coming to fight the turret, actually. That could be a thing. But anyway, we should be able to... Oh god, yeah, look at their firepower. I think they're definitely the most powerful faction that we've fought so far. Turret is absolutely getting bullied. I think if I didn't have those sandbags in place, we'd be in a lot more trouble. We've lost a turret already. And now they're shooting at my colonists. We've taken out one of the constructs. I do not like those constructs. They're quite dangerous. One of their members is down. Alright, I'm gonna get you out of here. Okay, I don't mind them shooting the turrets because whilst I feel that people are still more valuable to me at this point. Oh. Get in. Oh. I think we have got the better of them, but this is still, people could still be hurt. But the turrets were nothing, if nothing, a good distraction, I find. Oh, okay, the construct is down. So, those constructs, as I said, are dangerous. They definitely feel like the more dangerous element to this, to that faction. Eckhart doesn't seem to have taken any particularly serious injuries. He took something to the liver, which obviously this will be very painful, but it isn't going to be. It definitely won't be that life-threatening from the injuries. It looks like, and I think we've won. There's a psychic drone. Haha, that does nothing to us. So yes, we have fought them off, all things considered, which is good. And of course now we've ended up with their flesh and their weapons. I suppose the only difficult thing about having people raid us who then die is then of course it sort of makes us stronger. Like whatever doesn't kill us actually does make us stronger. Because I've literally just picked up their weapons. I will equip their weapons as well, and I'll use them against them. So a bit awkward really. I don't know about the pace of raids. I sort of feel like we're running away with it a bit. I really wanted to be up against the wall quite a lot of the time, and I don't really get the impression. I felt like that raid might have been a threat, but it didn't really develop into one. They only took out 2 of our 3 turrets, and they didn't breach the wall. So, all things considered, I think we did quite well. So I don't know whether I'm going to trigger raids more frequently, say on a weekly basis. The thing that frustrates me about the calendar in this game is that I don't mind the seasons only being a short period, but I wish they were a month as opposed to 15 days, because then that's easier to figure out what where you are in the season and the year and stuff. Whereas thinking about the third of winter, it would actually probably more accurately equate to the 11th or 12th of an actual month, or that's probably just a bit too far, isn't it? It's probably 8th or 9th. That's quite difficult to get your head around, I find, or at least I'm just thick. So yeah, there we go. Right, onwards. Literally, let's make it faster. I'm thinking about the best way to get to the oh oh that's not a good sound. Normally it's a like a you're about to die sound. Kibble. That's irrelevant because we don't have any animals, so my colonists can't eat it. The only thing we would be able to do was make an offering. We haven't got a sacrifice, deity, none. We have to offer offering, offer meals, amount. I don't know. But it's all quite cool, this stuff, because obviously you can make meat, plants, meals, and you can, yeah, and these will build up your favour with the gods as you go along. But for now, we haven't actually researched. We've built an altar, but we don't actually know who we're worshipping. I feel like it's a bit preemptive. Like if a religion was actually to do that, and they were to build a church, for example, and then people are like, what's it for? Who do you worship? Oh, we don't know. We're doing it preemptively. I quite enjoy that, to be honest. Right, so your Whitman cell has been increased. Now, the downside of increasing these two cells is they'll be ever so slightly cooler. But generally temperature looks okay still, so we're alright on that front. And let's get them some... Well, are there any of these good? No. Well, there's all sort of okay. Furniture. There we are. What I'm looking for is not a short table. A pentagon table would be quite cool at some point, but not obviously in a room like this. Where's more furniture? That's what I'm looking for. I can do a small table like this, and like that. Someone move the bed, please. Oh, I'm building a new one. That's not what I wanted to do. Reinstall here, please. Go and do it. Thank you. And then we get them a stool as well. Then they should be relatively happy when they eat their meals. Damn it. Done it again. I've got to remember to actually change the resources. I almost always just use wood anyway for tables and things. So that's why I keep forgetting to do it. Because I don't see the... normally I don't think it's a problem. Oh, these people have some quite good equipment, I've just realised. Eckhart, I don't think you have any armor. No, you don't. I'm going to put you to wear the tactical vest. This is one of the... this is actually late tier armor, like proper good armor. It gives 65% protection against bullets and stabs and things. It does slightly impact on her movement speed, but her movement speed is pretty tanked as it is already, so that's not really a big deal. And her aiming time, I think -5 is actually an improvement to aiming time. Because it means it takes her less time to aim. But again, I'm not really sure how that mechanic works, but I think I'm right on that front. And Estes, have you got yourself you've got an armoured jumpsuit, which does give 12.8% protection. If I get you to wear this instead, what does that do? 50% protection. That's much more effective. Yeah, I prefer that. I think we're more likely to face damage from sharp things than from blunt things, so that's probably a better thing to do there. The shoddy shard pistol, crystalloid pistol, is not accurate at all, and it's not very dangerous, so we're not going to be using that, that's for certain. What other weapons did they bring us? Oh, I wanted to look at that, never mind. Trying to look for their corpses. I think we've fairly effectively looted them all already. Right, okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for. The Scarred Shatterer. I think that was the thing that the constructs were using, which was dangerous. I think there's no other. A shotgun that fires a blast of crystalline shards, deadly at close ranges, usable by anyone. I mean, I don't think it's that great. Infinity RPM. That sounds cool, doesn't it? But I didn't actually see that in practice. Yeah, so it looks like it's moderately accurate at medium to well short range actually, and it does fire a 10 shot burst count, which is pretty deadly, but I'd need someone to be a good shot to have that weapon, I think, and none of my people are yet. The good one is obviously of slightly higher quality. So I'll keep those around, but I don't think I'm necessarily going to use them. I think if we recruit one of these two, then they might be the best bet for us, unless maybe the AEK. Oh, I don't know, I don't think so. Rare Thrumbos. Thrumbos are always difficult in my opinion, because I want to hunt them. So you can get their horn, which is worth a lot of money. But yeah, you can read a bit about them here. I don't know how familiar you are with Rimworld, but basically like a beast of ancient legend, I think is the idea. And yeah, so it's only 83. That's a pretty young Thrumbo. They're normally like in the hundreds of years. But they're very dangerous. They're very strong. I think I referenced earlier when I was talking about the direwolf, just how deadly they are. But I think we might be in quite a good position to take it down right now. All my colonists are in good health. We're not under a raid. And we have got a wall to hide behind. So forgive me when this inevitably goes wrong. I've lost so many people to I play quite ballsy in Rimworld. I don't really think much about the risks. This is the way I like to play. Fab, by the way, seems to be moving quite considerably faster than everyone else. I don't know why that is. He's a 22-year-old male, but you know everyone else is pretty young as well, with the exception of Eckhart. We've got quite a young colony. Where's it gone? Right. Long shot, Estes. You're going to have to take a shot here. It's out of range. Oh, this is going to be tricky. This is going to be very tricky, isn't it? Right, all my people are ready now. I've got one turret up, which will die to the Thrumbo, absolutely without a doubt. I find when things are sleeping, they actually are very difficult to hit for some really weird reason. You sort of feel like, actually, when something's lying down asleep, it should be the easiest to hit, but that's not at all the case, it turns out. Oh, come on, Estes, this is embarrassing. Wow. She's been shooting this thing for hours and she hasn't hit it. He hasn't hit it. Oh, it's getting serious, guys. It's getting serious. I'm moving in for the kill. Come on, this gun is so accurate at range. Now it's standing up. It's slightly more dangerous. Everyone else is like, oh, I'll leave you to it, mate. They've all gone back to bed, bastards. Come back here. Not you. Go on, kill it. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. All I want is to aggro it. That's all I want to do at this stage. Just to hit it the once so it comes at me. And once it's coming at me, I can get my other people involved in this fight. Ah, it's creating honey. Right, okay, so that's not really that important to me. That's an opinion-y thing. Oh, come on. This guy, what shot are you? You're like a level 0 shot is what you actually should be. He's an amateur. Yeah, I can tell. It's like me making YouTube videos. Oh my god. See, this is what I told you. Oh, run. He's gonna die. He's actually gonna die. I got cocky. No! I've got a colonist killed. He's actually gonna die. There's no way he's gonna get away from that Thrumbo. No way at all. Oh! Yes, Estes! He actually did alright. He's got no serious injuries. I was getting so frustrated at how long he was trying to kill that for. That, seriously, I should not have done that. Oh, we took it out. It took a lot of hits. Look at this thing. I mean, imagine being shot that many times. You'd go down, wouldn't you? As a Thrumbo yourself, you'll sympathise. Don't know what comment I'm making there, really. They're bloody massive, those things, I suppose. But anyway, we got the horn, which is the important bit. And I think the fur is worth something as well. I don't know about... Well, we're going to eat the flesh, so that doesn't really matter. But no part of that animal will go to waste. If I show you the horn, it's actually not a bad melee weapon. It does 15 damage, but it's worth $3,000. So the next trader that we get along will definitely be looking to sell that. Speaking of traders, I've forgotten that we do not have a comms console, so I'm going to get one set up now. Oh, we recruited someone. Mauro. Now Mauro was the shooter, wasn't he? Or at least he. Yes, he is. He's a good. He's a very good shooter. Do I risk it? I quite liked the look of those guns. I think they did quite a lot to my turrets. I could just see him perhaps. I don't know. I want to have a few practice shots with him. There's nothing to shoot though. There's nothing left on this map. I know we had some dromedaries down here. Oh, there's a Toroton. I'm really sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry. Work priorities. Anyway, he said he can't firefight. That must mean he is a pyro, which means that I'm now pleased that everything in our colony is basically inflammable, with the exception of my solar panels. He's quite good at medicine. So he's actually going to become our doctor as well. And I'm going to put that down lower for Fab. Of course, it's always nice to have two doctors just in case one happens to the other, and those two do both fight. But flicking, well, no, bed rest is fine for now. Flick, handle, don't care about at all. Really don't need people to do that. Hunting will put you quite high because your passion will go up as well. Construction, yeah, I don't think I really want him doing any of this stuff. So he's going to hold and clean basically, and then he's going to grow, construct, mine, that kind of thing. So he's a pretty busybody, but I mean basically he's a hunter. And his backstory is, I may have said this already, he's from an organ farm, so he sort of does actually suit this quite well. I don't know why that disables firefighting. I assumed he was a pyro. I don't know. And he was left cast away on an uninhabited world. Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, you can see why he has problems. He likes drinking as well. I like it. But he's also a night owl. Now, of course, that doesn't really matter because moods for this, of course, moods for us don't really work. Well, they don't really work. They're disabled. I disabled them. But so I'm gonna say I will set him a night schedule just because I know he likes to have them. Fab, this isn't for you. Please give Maro his chance. I want to test out the new weapon. Well, we know the scatter shot is good. Another way of telling whether guns are good or not is their value. So 780 is quite good for a gun, but if you compare that to the scatter shot, which I think has something like 3 grand, yeah, 2.2 grand, that's a really, you can tell that that's a great weapon. And the weapon in my previous game that I played by myself. So you can see against a large foe, this could be quite dangerous. In fact, I think this could be just flat out quite dangerous against anyone. I think the scatter shot is more powerful, but this is obviously landing a lot of hits. Yeah, I don't mind him shooting now, it's revenging, yeah. I'll let that go away, and oh my god, don't you dare. Now, I've heard that the mechanic is supposed to be these days, sleeping on the floor, is that if one colonist stands immediately behind the other, they're supposedly never ever supposed to be shot. In my experience, that doesn't happen. I mean, I know sure it only applies specifically to the instance where you would where you are standing one behind the other, as in one tile immediately behind the other person. But from my experience, I've still known people get shot by my own colonists because I still do find friendly fire to be slightly excessive in this game, to be honest. I think we've run out of sandstone blocks, and that's why those aren't getting built. So I'm going to switch it up to slate blocks. I do try, well, I like to, I should say, keep the sorry, I'm not very eloquent today. Oh, fantastic! It's my alarm going off. Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, I was going to finish my sentence. Was that I do like to try and keep the type of stone I'm using consistent between in colonies, because otherwise you end up with like a mismatch of colours. But in this instance, I think we just need the resources. So anyway, thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I'm thoroughly enjoying making this series at the moment. Playing a bit of Rimworld, it's one of my favourite games. If you do have any comments or feedback too, please do leave it below and I will respond to you. Yes, all the best. Thank you guys. See you in the next part. Bye.